Hi, I'm Lizzie. I am from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm currently in the launch phase. And today I'm talking to you from one of the offices that we do a lot of work in here. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about convincing your parents to take a gap year. For me, they were the only obstacle I really had to overcome to get here, and I always knew that this is what I wanted, but it was just about figuring out the correct way to go about it. So for me, the biggest components for my family were safety. That was one of their biggest concerns. And also, they worried about what I was going to get out of this program. Why should they pay for this gap year rather than having me go straight to college or do something else? Those were two big questions on their mind. So what I did was I researched a bunch of other gap year programs and actually created a PowerPoint explaining why UnCollege was better than the rest of them, comparing in price point, in generally like what each program does and what I would get out of each stage. And for me, what was most unique about UnCollege is not only did I get to travel and explore the world, but they have the launch phase, which allows me to develop professionally. And that was amazing for me because I was about to go into college not knowing what I wanted to study, and now I have a better idea of that. And just explaining that to my parents and showing how UnCollege, also its price point compared to other gap year programs, is much more feasible of an option was very much helpful in having them make their decision. Initially, my dad was like, no way, gap years is just a waste of time. Go to college, get your education, like this is important. And, for a while, I was just like, this is the way things have to be. I'm just gonna go to college and maybe I'll take some time off after college. And I was okay with that for a little bit. And then May rolled around and it was almost the end of my senior year. I was not excited to go to college. I didn't like this whole process of finding a roommate. I kind of felt lost, and I said, let's revisit this idea of a gap year. And lucky enough, this is kind of funny, but Malia Obama announced that she was taking a gap year. And when my dad saw that on the news, he came home and he was like, Lizzie, have you ever considered a gap year? And even though I had asked, like I've been asking since December, it was in that moment, he was like, have you thought of one? Malia's taking one. And I was like, oh, well, now that you bring it up, I was like, I'll take a gap year. I'll think about taking a gap year. And it's kind of funny that Malia Obama was the reason why my dad was like, let's actually look into a gap year. But I guess for you guys, you can use Malia as an example, but you can also just use statistics that show people who take gap years are much more satisfied in their careers later, and they actually do better in college if that's what you're planning to go on to next. So there is a lot of proof that gap years are beneficial, and I can see it now after being here for 6 months and going through the program. I see the benefits in my own progress. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. If you want to learn more and hear some of my other stories from Voyage and Launch, I have a blog on Medium. It's just under my name, Lizzie Ushai. So go find me there. Thanks.